Today we're going to talk about brass. Empty brass. I'm not talking about steel cased ammo from Russia. I'm not talking about Blazer aluminum cased ammo, but real reloadable brass. And it's really funny. This stuff is valuable. And if you're going to the range and you're throwing your brass away, you're throwing money down the drain. I was at a private range the other week. I found this brass at the range. A lot of it is 300 Win Mag. There's just tons of different calibers. All of it brass, all of it really good to be able to reload. You know, today we go to the store, we buy our brass, we use it, and then we throw it away. I was at the range today with 3 of my friends, and we were shooting, and there was a guy there that was cleaning up on his end, sweeping it up, big, huge dust bucket full of brass, and he dumped it in the trash can. And I was like, whoa, wait a minute. And I actually went through and gathered up a ton of brass. This is the brass that I actually got out of this guy's trash, and really, this is only part of it. I left a lot of it because I felt kind of dumb looking through a trash can. But look at all of this brass. A lot of it is 38, a lot of it is 9mm, 45. Now if you have something like this is aluminum case, this is just trash, you can't reload it. I think that was the only piece. There was some there at the range when we were looking. Now this was from the other day. Tons of brass. Now I've got some extra things that I'm going to show you in here that you don't want to pick up. You don't want to pick up the steel cased ammo. It looks like this at first, but then it starts to look like this. And this is a lot of stuff that was just on the ground. And I really picked this up just for you to look for. The 7.62 by 5.4 rimmed, steel cased, you can't reload it. And this stuff really doesn't need to be saved. But any of this stuff that is not shiny brass, if it's shiny brass like this, even if it's not so shiny but you can tell it's brass, you need to keep it. This other stuff, you can toss it. Now whatever you do, don't leave the brass or spent cases on the ground. I hate when you go to a range and it's just a big mess. Clean up your mess before you leave. But if you're picking up your brass, you're actually saving yourself some money. I usually keep a small bag like this. This is just a bag I keep. It's a U.S. Grunt Gear accessory bag. And I use this to put all my brass when I finish shooting. In fact, I'll spend about the same amount of time picking up brass as I do shoot. But this stuff is valuable. And one thing I do want to show you that came out of that bag. These were in a box in the trash can, and I thought it was brass, and these were all live rounds. And one thing you want to make sure though is those primers are not dented, because it's not a misfire. But really, this guy, you could tell he was just putting it to the side for somebody to pick up. Now I have this in my shop, and what I do is whenever I use brass, when I finish at the range, I just come in and throw it in here. This is excellent for reloading, and it just has value to it. In fact, a few years ago, I bought a whole lot of 45. In fact, I bought 2,000 rounds of spent 45 ACP. And I already had a couple of thousand rounds already. I was doing a lot of competitive shooting. So about a couple of months ago, I just took some of that brass, about 1,000 rounds of it, divided it up into 500 round packs, and sold it on gunbroker.com for a very nice little sum. So while I was gathering all this brass, I asked the guys that were with me if they saved their brass. And they said no, they didn't save it. They didn't really know of a reason to save it. They said, we don't reload. And I said, always keep your brass, because you can give it to someone who does reload, or again, you can sell it. But you never know when you may start reloading, because guys, ammunition is not cheap, and reloading is a great option. And to be honest with you, brass is the most expensive part of your reloading component, especially this big boy. One of my buddies was shooting 357 SIG, and I'm gonna tell you what, that is some expensive ammunition. Save your brass. But also, just as important, don't forget, clean up the range. Clean up the old targets, the mess that's left. It really makes it much nicer for those who come behind you, and then when you come back the next time, it'll be a lot more pleasant to shoot. Plus, it really leaves a bad name for shooters. The sound of money, baby. And as always, thanks for watching. Please subscribe for more fun gun reviews and sensible survival. God bless America. Long live the Republic. That's a big piece of brass.